Hey guys, hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel M2K Science. So in today's video, we will be studying about mathematics preparation tips for 2021 boards exam. Now, many students, many children are worried of maths, that how we are going to do the maths. First of all, the question is which one to opt, basic or standard. From my opinion, you should definitely obtain for standard mathematics, because this year's question paper for standard mathematics was way too easier when compared to basic mathematics. Yes, of course, basic mathematics was definitely easy, but it was not so that they are making the standard paper really tough. And you need to study the same chapters for both standard and basic. No chapter is skipped in basic, because something that in this trigonometry, surface area, every chapter will come, and in basic such type of chapters won't come. But it is not so. Every chapter is same in basic as well as standard. From my opinion, you can choose standard, though if you need to go in other field, if you are choosing standard, you have various career opportunities with you, because sometimes you do not have really fixed goals. Sometimes if you are planning to become a doctor, you have to become a doctor after, you need to become an engineer after some time. Your mind keep on changing. If you are fixed at your goal, and if you are very weak at maths, you can definitely go for basic. But from my opinion, you should definitely choose standard. If you are an average student, then also you can choose standard, because you will perform very well in standard as well, because it is quite easier when compared to previous year questions. Though basic is also easy, but it is not so that standard is very tough, because people have made that prejudice that standard paper are very tough and basic are very easy, but it is not so. Basic are also an average type paper, and standard is also a little tougher when compared to basic, but it's not so that it is very tough. But you should choose standard from my opinion. So that was clearing all your doubts regarding standard versus basic. So now we will focus on the preparation tips for both basic and standard. First of all, only study NCRT. Why only to study NCRT? You will be saying that R.D. Sharma, R.S. Agarwal, I will only do R.D. Sharma, I will only do R.S. Agarwal. But till the time you're not completely done with your NCRT, you won't be able to, definitely you will be able to solve your paper if you have done such higher level textbooks. But if you are only concentrating on NCRT and giving your full attention only to NCRT, solving your exercises 5 10 times, then definitely you will get good marks. Before your examination, during the gap, you will be able to solve your exercises one time. I know that if you are solving previous year questions, definitely that will help you. If you are solving the textbook exercises, definitely that will help you. If you want some other type of questions, if you just want to just explore in that chapter, if you want to understand that properly, then go on to the reference book. Otherwise, NCRT is fully sufficient for cracking your board exam with good marks, with proper good marks, because they only ask you questions that are always present in your textbook. Your NCRT have such questions, only they will put a little more trickier question or hot type question, but the method of solving is same. When you will come back home after solving paper, I know this, I solved it in my NCRT as well, only the question is a little bit tricky. If you want to understand the question type, then definitely reference book are necessary. But if you are clear with your concepts and you can solve any type of tricky question, then you need to study NCRT only. Now next point, surface area and volume calculation. Now this chapter requires a lot of calculations. Not only this, even areas related to circles requires a lot of calculation. Now why I have kept it as a second point and a very important point, because this chapter will definitely have a 5-marker question from this. You will definitely have one question from this chapter which is for 5 marks. That is completely guaranteed, because this chapter has, and one more advantage is that this chapter has total, like they have no tricky question, they have just forward questions, simple question. you need to understand that you need to put the values properly, you need to apply the proper formula. If you are applying wrong formula, अगर यहाँ का height उस height में लगा दिया, अगर यहाँ का area उधर लगा दिया, then your question will be gone. But if you are properly applying this height, this area, this radius, then definitely you will put the proper values in the formula. But the main mistake that we all do is during the calculations that we perform. If you are practicing the calculations, if you are solving big mathematics sums from before, you will definitely feel it easier to do the calculations during the examination. Your striking power will increase. So for that, properly understand and properly calculate all the values in the surface area and volume, and this should be the chapter which is on the topmost list of your surface area and volumes, areas related to circles, trigonometry, introduction to trigonometry, then circles and triangles. These 6 chapters should be a priority that you need to complete first, because otherwise you won't be able to do that, and for scoring good marks you need to study them properly. Now next question, trigonometry practice of proof type questions plus of triangles and circles as well. Now triangles and circles definitely will have proof type questions, and most of the time introduction of trigonometry from that chapter as well, proof type questions are only asked. Now why to practice these proof type questions? They are very tricky. In triangles, most of the times theorems are only asked from triangle chapter. Never leave the in-text questions and in-text examples given in your textbook of mathematics. Always study them. एक बार को अगर exercise you are leaving that, but definitely do not leave the examples and in-text examples and in-text solved examples given in your textbook, because they are very necessary for studying in your boards exam. Now in triangles, study all the theorems. I guess there are 6 to 7 theorems or more, I do not remember, but you need to study those theorems very properly, because that theorems are definitely asked in your exam. At least one theorem will definitely come for 3 marks or 5 marks. That's fixed. So study all the theorems, all the question, and in triangles, circles and introduction to trigonometry, application to trigonometry, you need to apply your brain. Those questions cannot be solved in any way other than you are not applying your brain. You need to apply your brain. If you are given a triangle like this and then something like this, you need to understand that yes, I need to study them in this way, so that I need to solve them in this way, so that I get the proof. You need to just put any proper mathematical rule so that you get the final answer. So for proof of circles, triangles and introduction to trigonometry, you need to study that properly and clear your concepts properly, so that you can prove the examples easily. Now next point, speed, time, age and volume questions. Now these are very important. You need to study them properly, because there are plenty of questions asked each and every year. They are frequently asked questions for 5 marks, that what is the volume, what is the speed, what is the time, what is the age, and they are given the values like if x is the age of father, if y is the age of son. Like in that way you have to solve this for linear equation and quadratic equations. For that you need to practice such type of questions more in your NCRT solved examples. There are many examples for speed based question, volume based question, length based question, area based questions in linear equation and quadratic equation. You need to study them properly, and what is upstream downstream questions are the most frequently asked. If you are studying them properly, then you will definitely get 5 marks easily, because definitely a 5 mark question is coming on time or speed or length, etc. Then you should be prepared with such type of questions as well. For getting more questions based on these concepts, you can definitely watch our further coming videos. Then in text examples, I already told you how important are how important it is to practice in-text question. You need to practice that properly and only study NCRT based question. Now why I am telling you NCRT based question, because you will definitely find an upstream and downstream question. You will definitely find a time question in your NCRT. The only thing is that they put a trickier version in your examination. So you only need to study NCRT questions, so that you can get good marks, you can achieve good marks in your examination. So thank you for watching my video. That's it for this video, and I'll be meeting in my next video. And please consider subscribing for helping me. Thank you.